What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tearphone Orbital, another space junk. I'm just going to keep the shirt on. I might as well just always wear this shirt because it's just space junk constantly. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So yeah, we've got another space junk hilt that I want to go over the install and demo with for very quickly here. This, again, is not a very greebly heavy chassis. However, I will talk a little bit about the chassis design, and we will also obviously go over a demo with this one, right? So this is an Inquisitor themed hilt from Nevin at Space Junk Sabers. We've got our quintessential ring around the hilt. What I really, really love about this hilt is that Nevin incorporated the rings to be able to fold, and there were some really, really unique design elements that I noticed about this that I just appreciate. There's, you know, making stuff myself, there are just some things that I notice when other sabersmiths do them that I appreciate. That was hard to get through. That was a weird sentence that I just said. But yeah, there's just some things that like I can really appreciate. Very small things that probably not, not the average person would notice, but I can appreciate. You know what? And I'm just going to talk about it right now, right? So here's the hilt. So the rings do fold, okay? So there, you'll notice that there are two switches for this hilt. We've got a main and an aux. These are our aluminum Momentary switches from Phil at Kalymian Customs. The switch placement is just so that if they're in the way of the rings. So what Nevin did, you probably can't see it on camera, Nevin made sure to cut this ring so it gives clearance to that switch. I mean, that's just something that, I mean, obviously it wouldn't open if you didn't do that, but just like small things like that, I can really appreciate, right? So let's come up top. Obviously, here is the hilt. This thing is super gnarly looking. I like the fact that it's got smaller rings on it. It feels a lot less hefty than, for example, the Ultimate Works Second Sister. I mean, the rings on that one are huge, right? But I really, really appreciate this. And it's just got that typical Space Junk Sabers look to it. You can tell, I can tell when looking at a hilt who made it, obviously, right? So, another really cool thing that has been incorporated into this hilt is how you access the board and the battery. So the grip doesn't unscrew, it slides. There's like a sliding door mechanism. You take off these knurled thumb screws, okay, and the grip kind of opens like that, right? Really, really unique setup. Now, unfortunately, the client really, really wanted to try and get some kind of reveal going on with this hilt. Given the space, I really was not able to achieve that, unfortunately. So we have to keep in mind a number of things when doing not only a staff, but like a dual-bladed lightsaber install. You've got to keep in mind, you've got to have a speaker, you've got to have two emitters, okay? So we've got to have room for the speaker to vent out of these vents here, but I've also got to make sure that speaker is a small enough size so that I can pass 3 conductors past it for this PCB emitter. So this is a 24mm speaker. I was able to sneak my 3 conductors past that to power this PCB emitter. And then again, the same thing down here, right? So down here I didn't have a problem with space because I didn't have a speaker down here. But I also needed to wire up another PCB. So just given the space, I possibly could have done something like crazy in here. But again, you still want, like the speaker, the head of the speaker is like right here. Not the head, but the cone of the speaker, the magnetic thing, is right here. So there just wasn't a lot of room to play with. Now, with that being said, there are windows on the side of the grip. So I was able to get 2 Red Edison Filaments on each side for those windows, and 2 5 2020 NeoPixel strips on this one. So there's some cool animations on that one, right? But that's it. That's all we got. So let's talk about how to use this guy, right? So you slide that grip open. Look at that. It stands up by itself. Love it. Slide that grip open. You want to take your battery. Spring side is your negative. You want to take the flat part of your battery. There is also no kill switch in this build. The Proffie has been set up to go into sleep after 10 minutes of inactivity, but there is no kill switch in this build. So you put your battery in. And there's those neopixels and those red Edison filaments. So I'm not going to screw in. Actually, why not? Let's do that. That way I don't slide the grip open when I'm swinging it around. So you want to screw in those thumb screws again. You're ready to go. So let's come down here. So there's only one board in this build. This board is powering both top and bottom PCB. So this top one is wire to LED 2 and 3. This one is on 4 and 5. And that's it. We save space that way as well. You don't really need, in my opinion, two boards for this. So in the config, top and bottom blade are the same blade style. And then we've got on secondary. So I'm sorry. So there are 3 blades, okay? Top and bottom, and the neopixel accents. Let me back that up. There are 4 blades. So one is the Edison filaments, one is the neopixels, one is top, and one is bottom. So the top and bottom blade configs are exactly the same on each font. So yeah, let's put. I'm going to try and get blades into this thing. Let's put blades on both sides, right? So there are knurled, very, very large thumb screws here for blade retention. Nevin did include 2 custom blade plugs with this as well. So you want to take those blade plugs out. Set your, luckily I have perfect size blades for staff here. Let's put that first one in. Make sure I don't break anything here. And the second blade. All right, so here we go. No, not a lot of room to swing my staff around here. Let's see what else we got on here. Really, really, really great hilt. Again, like for me, there's that side neopixel. Each animation is different for each font. So for me, staffs are just not very practical. With that being said, this is a really, really cool one. And you can obviously use it single blade, right? If you want. I should have left the top one on, because the buttons are towards this end. So, yeah. Great hilt. Really, really unique hilt, as with all of Nevin's stuff, right? So that's it. That is the Inquisitor themed hilt from Space Junk Sabers. To the client, thank you very, very much for trusting me with this particular build. To the viewers, everybody, thank you very much for your support and watching. And if anyone has any questions, please don't be a stranger. Thank you for the support again. Thank you for watching again. And with that being said, may the Force be with you always. Thanks for watching, everybody.